think something I wish I'd told a younger me as a director is that directing shorts is actually much harder than directing television. True, because shorts, you're just responsible for everything, you're quite limited in what you have, whereas actually in television, once you get there, you have these incredible crews around you. So I got my start in the industry following a fairly traditional route. I did an undergraduate film degree in QUT in Brisbane, and then through just luck, I think, I was able to get into the postgraduate program for directing at AFTRS. While I was at AFTRS, I made a film called The Love Song of Iskra, Prufrock. It went on to have a really great life. It was shown at over 60 festivals, and at the time it was nominated for an AFI, which has become an ACTRS as well. So it was such a big beginning, and in a way I kind of thought, oh, this is what always happens with the short film. Little did I know. Then after that, I would just put in for every funding round that I could. I got knocked back a lot, but on occasion I was successful. So my next bigger short film was a film called The Gift, which I made through the EFF program, the Emerging Filmmaker program. After that, I applied through the Hot Shots program at Screen Australia, and that's how I made Dream Baby.
How much are these?
$4.
$4, that's a bit rich.
It was such a really beautiful opportunity to make something really cinematic, something where I could focus on performance, and something where I could really manifest a world on screen. And that film also ended up having a really great life, travelled really broadly, and ended up winning the ACTRS award for Best Short Film, which was great.
Well, I mean, you got it all sorted then.
From the moment after that, winning meant that all those doors that I'd been knocking on opened. The wonderful Claudia Carvin saw the short film and she asked to meet me, which never happens. Through the shadow directing program with the ADG, Claudia wanted to offer me an episode of Dr. Doctor. That's why I really champion Claudia Carvin and Tony McNamara for my career, because they saw my short film and they made a really conscious decision to give me an opportunity, and they fought for me with the broadcaster, and I'll be grateful to them for the rest of my life.
You cracked it.
Beginner's luck. Oh, making that leap from short film to television, it was terrifying actually, but I think the name of the game was to not really show that. I had such a big first episode, and I think that was really great too. Once I'd done something so enormous and so hard, I was like, oh well, okay, this is fine now. I can do this. So yeah, that first year I did one episode, and then I ended up coming up the next year, I came back and I ended up doing 4.
Proud moment.
So through my agent, I was invited to meet Justine Flynn and Angie Fiedler and Polly Stan from Aquarius Films for their upcoming program called The Unlisted, which was for ABC and Netflix. When I was on The Unlisted, actually, I was 7.5 months pregnant, and I think part of the reason that worked was because I was so supported by Justine and Angie and Polly, but also the extraordinary crew around me, particularly my first AD, Sophie Robinson. And it ended up being one of the best shoots I've ever been on. It was a really, really hard shoot, absolutely. But I had the best time, and I ended up going into labour in the edit suite.
Dr. Sharma will handle it from here.
And I love that expression that it's 10 years to be an overnight success, because that's what it feels like. When I look back at the steps that actually got me across the line into being a professional director, it's just paved with all these little tiny decisions I made, people I met along the way. So I think the central thing to do if you're trying to become a filmmaker is to get yourself the best education that you can. Get yourself involved as much as you can, whether it's volunteering on projects or volunteering at festivals, doing all those sorts of things, because you actually never know what interaction is going to be the thing that helps you at the end of the day.
So what I miss?
I think my most important piece of advice for upcoming directors, emerging directors, is to really focus on what kind of leader you want to be. Your job as a leader is to enable the work of everyone else around you. It's not to enable yourself. It's to enable the vision and creativity of your collaborators, of your performers, of your DP, of your writer, of your producers, and bring this together to create a rich and moving experience for your audience. Those are the things you need to keep in mind all the time. So the thing about being a great director, for me, is about being the type of leader that enables everyone else to be their best self. If you do that, the work itself will be wonderful.